Batch load Accuplacers. So when you're batch loading the Accuplacer, there's actually 4 things you're going to have to do, or maybe only 3, depending on the records in your file. So you've already downloaded your file, you place it on the Banner server, and now you're ready to run the processes to load it. So the first process is SRT load, and that loads the file to a temporary table. The second one is SRR SRIN, and this is the job that does all the matching. So if the job can match the record to an existing Banner ID, it'll go ahead and do match. If it can't match it, but it says this is definitely a new one, it's going to create a new record. And if it's not sure what to do, it'll suspend it. And if it suspends it, that means you have to resolve the suspended record. So when you run SRR SRIN, we'll look at the data file, and if any of them are suspended, that tells us we need to go to SRI PREL to resolve the suspended records. But if we look at SRR SRIN's output and none of them were suspended, then we're going to move straight to SRR PREL to push the test scores to show a test. Now, during this video, there's some things I'm going to talk to you about, but I'm not actually going to show it to you because of the privacy of a person's record, because we're loading real students' data in this video. So I'm okay with showing their student name, but I'm not going to show you the screen where the person's social security number is going to show up in birthday. So I'm going to go ahead and not show that. I'll talk through it a little bit, but I'm not going to show that in a video. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to SRT load to load our file. And if you didn't watch the video on how to move the file to the Banner server, please go to the previous video and watch that, because the file has to be on the Banner server in order for you to do this. So you're going to type in SRT load and hit enter on your keyboard. Then you're going to select go, select next section, and this is where you're going to enter in your parameters. So you're going to enter in here, you're going to enter in U, lowercase u, 03, prod, your college name, and I'm actually using Delta as my demo, so Delta. And then you're going to put in the file name, which is the college alpha accu.txt. Now, case is very important. So you're going to see that, oh, and I made a typo, so I got to go back and fix that and do that. Okay. So case is extremely important when you're typing this. You're going to see .txt. The txt is lowercase. You'll see the U is lowercase, so very important. In parameter number 2, you're going to type in ACCU. In parameter number 3, you're going to type in, put ACCU. For parameter number 5, you're going to leave that as G. Parameter number 6, you're going to just put in the term that you're working in. Parameter number 7 is UG. Parameter number 12, which I'm going to have to use a toggle arrow to get over to, is TST. Parameter number 13 is A00010. Parameter 14 is MA. Parameter 15 is self. Parameter 16 is going to be null. Parameter 17 is PERS. Parameter 18 is going to be no. Parameter 20 is going to be yes. Now I'm going to toggle over to parameter 21 is going to be yes. And then to run this in update, you're going to put U. Then you're going to select next section and save. After you select save, you're going to select related and then review output. And then this just means that the job is still running. It's not an error. It just means the job's still running. To get the .log and .list file for the job you just ran, you want to double click on the ellipse next to file name. And I just keep double clicking on that until the pop-up appears with my .log and .list files. Sometimes you just have to be patient. It may take a little longer than you'd like. So now my .list file has appeared. So I'm going to double click on the .list file. And then I'm going to toggle through to look at the file. Now I'm going to go ahead and just hit the arrow with the line to go to the last page. You'll see the total number of prospects loaded, 150, number of records, 150. And then I'm going to go back one and then another one to see if I have any errors. So sometimes there's an error just because a value hasn't been built. So you're looking for that. If you get that, take a screenshot of it and submit a service request, and a specialist will build the code. But typically I'll see state, where a state hasn't been built and it needs to be built. But other than that, I don't see any other problems besides that. Okay, so now we're going to X out of this because we didn't have any errors. You see right here it's errors, and you'll see we didn't have any take value errors, and that's where we'd see if there was a problem if the state wasn't built. So I'm going to go ahead and X out of here, and I'm going to move to my next process that I have to run, which is SRR-SRIN. So now I could X out and go back to the front page, or I can just type it in right here, SRR-SRIN, because it's a job and all jobs are run through GJAPCTL. Select Go, select Next Section, and in parameter 1, you're going to enter ACCU. Parameter number 2, you're going to enter in ACCU. Parameter number 3, you're going to enter in A. Parameter number 4, you're going to enter in N. Then you're going to select Next Section and select Save. And then the same thing, we're going to go and review our output. So we're going to select Related, select Review Output. Once again, this just means the process is still running. Double click on the file name, the ellipsis, and when it's done, a pop-up will appear with your file in it. And sometimes you have to be patient with this process because this file has 150 students, and what this job is doing is it's doing the matching for you. So instead of you having to manually try to match each student, searching for them, the job is doing it for you. So it may take a little while for it to get where we want it to be. Okay, so now we have our .list file, so we're going to double click on it. And you're going to see you have some that say dupe means it's a duplicate, and that's okay. This just means it's already there. New means it created a new record. Match means it was matched with a record that already exists. We can just scroll through. You see we do have a few that was suspended. I saw one that was suspended. SUSP means suspended. So that tells me I'm going to have to move on to the next step to resolve my suspended records. Now I'm just going to go ahead and go to the end of the file. I don't have to look at each one. I'll go back one page. You'll see you have 9 suspended records. Record count 132. So you know you have some suspended records that you have to go and resolve. So now that we've run this process and it's matched, it said, okay, this is going to be a new person, and then we have our suspended ones, we're going to X out of here. We're going to have to X out because now we have to go to SRIPREL to resolve our suspended records. So we go to SRIPREL. And we're going to search by our process code, which is ACCU. And then you're going to select Add Another Field. And you're going to select Load Status. And in that field, you're going to select, hold on a second. I'm sorry. I wanted to add match status. And in here, we're going to select Suspend. So this is only going to pull up our suspended ones. And then select Go. So now we'll have just the suspended records. Now, I'm not going to show you the next part. The directions are in the written out for you, but I'm not going to show you how to resolve the suspended ones in this video because it does show students' social security numbers. So don't want to show that in a video, so you'll have to follow the directions in the written area on how to resolve the suspended records. So after you finish resolving all of your suspended records, you're then going to go to SRRPREL, and this is the process that's actually going to push the test scores into SOATest. You select Go, you select Next Section. Parameter number 1, you enter in ACCU. Parameter number 2, you enter in ACCU. Parameter number 3, you enter in A. Then you select Next Section, and then you select Save. And then you select Related, Review Output, and then you keep double clicking on the ellipsis next to file name until the pop-up appears. And then once it's done, you'll see your .list and .log file have appeared. So this means that your process has completed and the test scores have loaded.